you've been wanting to enter your hosting girl era, this is the sign, sis, for you to finally do it. The holiday season is officially here, and this is the perfect time for you to put those hosting skills to the test. Hi everyone, my name is Taliah and I'm a 26-year-old business analyst working in tech consulting. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My content is all about empowering young Black women to thrive in corporate spaces while also prioritizing meaningful lives outside their 9 to 5. Something that I love to do outside of work is host, which is why I am super excited to be sharing 5 simple tips for budget-friendly and hassle-free holiday hosting. I know earlier in the video, I said that the holiday season is the perfect time to put those hosting skills to the test, and this year I decided I was up for the challenge and hosted my very first Friendsgiving. Everything that I'm going to be sharing today are the same exact things that I did when I was prepping and planning for my event, so I know for a fact that they actually work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Tip number 1 is to create and send out an invite. Whenever you're planning an event, I always suggest that you start with this step because it's going to be really hard for you to plan for your event if you have no idea how many people are actually planning to come. I understand that life be lifing and some of our girls may say yes and later become a no, or they may say no and later become a yes. However, we're just looking for that ballpark number to make sure we're prepared for however many people are planning to come. There's a lot of different ways that you can create your invite, but my personal favorite is Canva. Canva is super easy to use, and they also have a really convenient mobile app where you can create your invite right there and then download it straight to your phone. For Friendsgiving, all I did was go to my Canva app. I typed in Friendsgiving invite, chose the template that I like, and customized it for my event. In your invite, the information you need is really simple: the date, the time, the address, and the type of event that you're planning. If you're wondering, well, how do I actually collect the RSVPs? I got you, girl. And the way that I like to do it is through Google Forms. The reason that I like to use Google Forms is because that you can take that link and actually add it directly to your Canva invite, which is a really cool and convenient feature. I can do a separate video where I do a step-by-step tutorial of how to take links and add them to your Canva invites, but I have found that to be the easiest way to collect RSVPs when I am hosting and planning events. Once you have your invite finalized and ready to collect your RSVPs, now it's time to actually send out your invite. I think you should do that 3 to 4 weeks before your event. You don't want to send it out too early, but you also don't want to send it out too late. Finally, when you're sending out your RSVP, be sure to send a detailed text message. So in your text message, I suggest you call out that key information of the date, the time, the address, and the type of event that you're hosting, and also give people a deadline to RSVP by. I feel like 1, if you give that deadline, they're more likely to just look and see if they're available in RSVP right then. But then secondly, it also helps you get prepared. So for Friendsgiving, I asked everyone to RSVP a week before the actual event. So then I had that ballpark number and knew how many people I was expecting as I started to get prepared and get food and other things. Tip number 2 is to create a budget. If you're a corporate girly like me, then it's probably likely that you're only getting paid bi-weekly, and so it's super important for us to not spread ourselves thin when hosting or planning an event. I have a few things that I want to share for budgeting and hosting, and the very first thing is to create a list of the things you need to buy, the things that you can borrow, and the things that you already have at home. If you're anything like me, then I have a really bad habit of purchasing things that I already have. I find this so annoying because not only am I wasting my money, but I'm also wasting my time. So now, whenever I'm hosting an event, I've gotten into the habit of taking out my phone before I start going shopping, and I actually write down and make a list of, this is all the things that I already have at home that I'm planning to use for the event. These are the things that I'm actually planning to go out and buy. And then finally, these are the things that I'm planning to borrow. So if you have the opportunity to borrow things from friends or family, I definitely suggest that you do this. Mom likes to host a lot, so she has a lot of quality pieces such as centerpieces or tables and chairs, and so she's the very first person I'm going to go to if I know I want something for my event that I'm not going to use often. However, if there's people that you can't borrow from, I still suggest that you start with a list of, these are the things that you have at home and these are the things that you want to buy. Putting this list together has helped me save time and also save money. And I found when I do this, I actually stick to my budget way better than if I just go out shopping with no lists to keep me on track. Once you have your list, the next thing that I suggest you do is actually determine the number of how much you want to spend for your event. So if you're anything like me, I know that could be a little bit difficult, and I also find it frustrating when I say I want to spend $300 but find myself spending way more. So something that I have started doing is actually starting backwards. So for Friendsgiving, I actually went to the Sam's Club app and I looked at my list of everything that I needed to buy, and I added that to my Sam's Club cart. The reason that I did this was because it actually helped me see how much was everything that I needed to buy going to cost me. I feel like doing this gives me a more realistic number, and then from there I can determine what I'm actually comfortable spending. If I see that the things in my cart are costing me way more than what I want to spend, I can either figure out what am I going to get rid of or what are cheaper alternatives. This has worked really well for me, and if you're someone who struggles to feel like, hey, I say that this is my budget, but I'm spending way more, I definitely suggest that you start doing this. Another thing when it comes to budgeting is don't be afraid to shop the sales, and don't feel like you have to spend a ton of money for you to have a great event. I definitely recommend places like Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby and buying in bulk when it makes sense. Tip number 3 is to have your attendees pitch in. So for my Friendsgiving this year, I decided that I wanted to do it potluck style because 1, I'm not that great of a cook and should not be responsible for the Thanksgiving meal, but also I knew that a potluck style would save me time, money, and stress. Even though I was still doing a potluck style, the control freak in me did have a base menu, and so I provided chicken, fish, spaghetti, fruit, and salad, and I felt like that would be a really good meal just in case everything else flopped and no one else brought any food. Obviously, all of my friends, they came through, they showed out, they brought so much food, everything was so good, but I just still felt a little bit more comfortable having that base meal just in case, and then everyone else pitch in other things. The one thing that I did learn is that next year when I host Friendsgiving or for any future events that I plan to host, I am gonna send out that base meal just so people know what I'm already providing and they don't bring duplicates so they're not wasting their money, but then also to make sure that everything supplements each other really well. It worked out that most things go with fish, spaghetti, salad, and fruit, but in the future I still just want to send it out to other people so that when they're planning what dishes they want to bring, they already have an idea of what I'm going to be providing. The other thing when it comes to food is I suggest that you have everyone bring their own alcohol. Alcohol is something that will add up really, really quickly, and so to save money, I just said it was BYOB. And again, all of my friends bought a ton of alcohol. We had so much and they were willing to share with other people, so that is a great way to save money. I did do a specialty drink, which was a spiked apple cider, and I did that because 1, it was super easy to make and I can make a lot for a reasonable price, but I still wanted everyone else to bring any specific drinks of alcohol that they wanted to have for themselves because that always saves you money. So those are 2 really good things when it comes to pitch in, and if you want people to bring their own food and their own alcohol, I found that it worked really well, and something that I plan on continuing to do in the future. Tip number 4 is to prep as much as possible before the day of the event. Now this one may seem really obvious, but if you're like me, I have a really bad habit of procrastinating and waiting till the day before or the day of to run around and get everything together. So for Friendsgiving this year, I tried to do something a little bit outside of my normal habits, and I started to get prep a week in advance, and this was super duper helpful. I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I'm giving myself enough time to actually get things done without being stressed. So if you are finding yourself super stressed about planning, I definitely suggest that you get ahead as much as you can. I'm trying to set up future Taliah for success, and we don't want her to be stressed out. So for me, a week was more than enough time in advance. However, if you're doing like DIY decorations, centerpieces, and those sorts of things, and you need more time, you can never start too early. So I definitely suggest however much time you need to feel like you have enough to not be in a rush or running around. Take that time to get ready, so the day of, you just have to set up, make everything look really cute and pretty, and enjoy your event. Tip number 5 is to keep it simple. The holidays are all about love, joy, and spending time with family and friends, so don't feel too pressured to have this over the top and extravagant event. As long as the people that you love are there and they have a good time, I can guarantee you that your event will be a success. So that is the end of today's video. Comment down below any other tips that you may have, but I hope the ones that I shared have inspired you to get into your hosting girl era, but in a budget-friendly and hassle-free way. I'm gonna close out this video with some footage from my Friendsgiving this past weekend, but I wanted to come on and say thank you and that I will see you guys in the next video. So, in typical Taliah fashion, I'm running behind and trying to get everything done in the next 47 minutes. It is officially Friendsgiving. I'm so excited. It starts at 7 and it's currently 6:12. So I just got out the shower, threw something on, and now I need to pack up everything so that we can go to the community center. And then I have to finish cooking the mac and cheese. My aunt came in so clutch. She made it for me and I just went and got the pan and had to put it in the oven today. So I gotta finish that up and then get everything, pack it in my little buggy, and then head to the community center. I'm so excited to be hosting my first event in my new apartment. And honestly, I'm starving. I treat it today like real Thanksgiving. I have not eaten. I did have breakfast, but I have not eaten since breakfast. I was like, I'm gonna eat good at Friendsgiving. So the time has come. Let's hurry up and pack up all this shit and go and have a good night. Mac and cheese is in here cooking. It looks so good. We just need her to get warm because it's such a big, because it's such a big pan. She's taking a little bit longer to get warm. And then we've packed our buggy to capacity. So let's head over and go set up because we now have 35 minutes until start time. I really need to be better about being on time. That's fine. Focusing on that.